Hi, mapping friends. I have a quick update to share about MapRoulette. We are about to release version 3.7.6. Yes, and there's a few new things I want to highlight. Just a quick um, new feature that we're introducing. I'm going to show you from the MapRoulette staging server because the release is going to be tomorrow. Um, what it does is basically we're making use of the capability of the ID editor to restrict the types of things that a mapper can edit. So for example, if you're doing a challenge that is aimed at beginning novice mappers, you might want to kind of restrict them in ID to only edit the types of features that the challenge is about. So for example, if the challenge is about adding names to a road, you could add that as a restriction in the right in the challenge, and it would be ported over to ID, and ID would know what you want the mappers to be able to edit. So let me show you how that works. So I am in my own project. Let me go back here. So I have a test challenge here, and I want to update that challenge to set those ID restrictions. So there we go. We click on it, and we get to the challenge management screen. I see that I have see that I have some demo tasks here. Let me actually start the challenge and see what it's about. So this is a test challenge. It doesn't really actually do anything. I just queried for all the hotels in Utah, and there's not a real instruction. Of course, you should do better than this. But so for this example, we would want to restrict users to only be able to edit this type of feature. So let's see if we can do that. So we're going to edit the challenge, and then we say here at the very bottom uh, a new settings category that says customize editor settings. So note that only ID supports this. For JOSM, there's no option to restrict this. So this will work only if you let people edit if people choose to edit using ID. So there we go. So the default is no. That's the current default. But if you click yes here, they will see a whole a whole series of options appear that you can set for people to restrict what they can edit. So let's search. There's no search, so we'll have to see the about the category that we're going to use. So in this case, we're looking for tourism really. Let's see if that's there. Um, Land use, natural. So there's a whole bunch of categories. I don't know if tourism is actually on there. I may have picked a bad example, but you still get the idea. So there's roads, there's routes, there's utility, there's water, there's waterway. I'm actually not sure if there's tourism here, but let's just say for the sake of the argument that we're trying to restrict to buildings. So you could restrict people to edit only building features in ID, but even get more specific and only let them edit buildings that are house features that are marked as building equals house, building equals apartments. And so you can see that you can go through all these different categories and let people and let restrict the types of things that people can do. So if you were to select building, then people would not be able to edit anything else. And you can select multiple if you want, and that would be carried over to ID to let people only edit those feature types. I'm still kind of looking for features that have to do with tourism. I'm not sure if those are there. In fact, I actually have not used this very much in ID, so I'm not extremely familiar with how that works. But we basically carry over all the types that ID lets you restrict. So that's doable. So say that we have a need to restrict this to only buildings, and we can finish editing the challenge. And then if we go back to the challenge and click on edit, reload the task, and we make sure that we're set to edit in ID, and we're going to edit this. Let's just pretend that this is a building related challenge. So then we would basically look for any type of feature that is a building footprint. In this case, of course, we're editing on the development server, so we wouldn't be able to see any buildings because there's no data here. but that's the idea. That's the general idea. So this video is extremely poorly prepared, but the yeah, the idea stands. That you would only be able to kind of edit the building that is here, because this is the staging server. We're connecting to the OpenStreetMap dev server where this actual data is not there. Excuse for the mess. Excuse me for the apologies for the messy video, but I just want to quickly highlight that new feature that we have. So keep watching for more.